Once again, the folks at Cox 4 and CST have put together an outstanding schedule that features the top teams, legendary coaches, and the best players across South Louisiana. Every Friday night until December, we'll have a game on Cox 4 that will be shown in our three markets of Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Lafayette, and another game will be shown on CST. In Week 1, our matchup on CST features two of the top prep players in the state as Plaquemine takes on Brother Martin. The Crusaders were an offensive juggernaut last year, and they bring back Bruce Jordan Swilling, who rushed for over 2,000 yards last season. The Green Devils of Plaquemine are led on the defensive side of the ball by safety Todd Harris, who is being recruited by some of the top teams in the country. Our Week 1 matchup on Cox 4 has Cecilia facing Como. The Bulldogs have a new top dog and former South Lafourche head coach Dennis Gaines, while Doug Dotson is back for his second year at Como. His son Brett Dotson is poised for a big season at quarterback. The Week 2 contest on CST is a renewal of a great rivalry as Breaux Bridge visits Notre Dame. Breaux Bridge's new head man is former Cecilia coach Terry Martin, while the Pioneers are led by longtime coach Louis Cook and his 321 wins. The Pios are coming off a Division II state championship. St. Aug and Scotlandville is our Week 2 Cox 4 matchup. Two great quarterbacks in this one, Justice McCoy for the Purple Knights and Levi Lewis, who led the Hornets to 10 wins a year ago. The Week 3 CST matchup has the Woodlawn Panthers of Baton Rouge taking on the Lafayette Mighty Lions. William Poole is the new head coach for the Mighty Lions, while the Panthers are looking for another postseason berth under second-year head coach Daniel Luquette, who has the luxury of handing the ball off to running back Javin Myers. Our Cox 4 Week 3 matchup will be must-see TV as two powerhouses meet in Baton Rouge as Parkview Baptist hosts John Curtis. The Eagles won the Division II title a season ago, the first one for Jay Maye. Parkview's running game will once again be led by Trent Cavanaugh and Connor Joffrion. John Curtis didn't play in the title game for the first time in 20 years last season, but they are considered one of the top teams in the state this year as they return 8 starters on defense. In Week 4, the CST contest is the St. Charles Comets versus the Central Wildcats. The Comets are coming off a 10-win season under head coach Frank Monica, while the Wildcats have enough talent to make a deep run in the 5A playoffs thanks to 8 starters back on defense. In Week 4 on Cox 4, you can catch Barb at Acadiana. The Buccaneers have a really good quarterback in Gavin Nettles, while the Wrecking Rams' strong running game will be led by Ziggy Francis and Kevlin Shevlin. Last year, Acadiana beat Barb 41-35 in a thrilling Class 5A matchup. Our Week 5 CST contest is Terrebonne at Destrehan. The Wildcats reached the quarterfinals a season ago, and quarterback Cohen Grenier and wide receiver Michael Young are back to lead that offense, along with Justin Jefferson, the younger brother of Jordan and Ricky Jefferson. Terrebonne is led by longtime head coach Gary Hill, and they have a quarterback in Dylan Badgeron, who is small but very talented. Week 5 on Cox 4, Turlings Catholic travels across the Atchafalaya Basin to take on the Catholic Bears, who won the Division I title in 2015. Back to make another title run for the Bears is running back Clyde Edwards-Ehler and Ben Miles, who recently committed to Nebraska. The Rebels won 10 games a season ago, and the talented Hayden Cantrell takes over at quarterback. Week 6 on CST is a great Catholic League matchup as Rummel takes on Holy Cross. The Raiders are coming off a state championship game appearance, and they head into the season ranked 36th in the country by Max Preps. Holy Cross features one of the best up-and-coming quarterbacks in the state in Chandler Fields. He threw for nearly 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns as a freshman. Our Week 6 contest on Cox 4 will be Zachary and Scotlandville. This game a season ago was off the charts as the Broncos defeated the Hornets 49-46. Zachary won the 5A championship last year, and they returned key pieces from that team, like linebackers Donovan Perkins and Herbert Cummings. Our Week 7 contest on CST will be Karen Crow versus St. Thomas More. STM, led by legendary head coach Jim Hightower, who is in his 30th season, and he led the Cougars to their first state title appearance a year ago. 6'7" Nate Cox is STM's QB this season, and he'll have some talented receivers to throw to and a big offensive line in front of him. Karen Crow won a district championship last season and return running back Tyreek Campbell and 8 starters on defense. Our Week 7 contest on Cox 4 is one of the great rivalries in the capital city, as Parkview Baptist hosts University High. Cubs beat the Eagles in the 2014 Division II state title game, and U-High beat Parkview again last year in the regular season. But the Eagles got revenge by beating the Cubs in the semifinals last November. Our Week 8 CST game is Rummel versus Brother Martin. The Crusaders will be looking for revenge in this one after losing to the Raiders 59-27 last year. The Week 8 Cox 4 game of the week should be an emotional one as Denham Springs hosts Central, two communities that have suffered horribly from this historic flooding. A year ago, Central edged out Denham Springs by beating the Yellow Jackets 21-20. Central returns 2 outstanding players in offense, quarterback Gabe Brown and running back Xavier Lewis, while the Yellow Jackets have one of the top running backs in the state in Tyree Gomont. In Week 9 CST, the game is Warren Easton versus Edna Carr. This is one of the best prep football rivalries in the Crescent City. Carr made it to the state title game last year and returned All-State quarterback Eldon Clark, who threw for 3,400 yards and 34 touchdowns. Warren Easton has a new coach in Jerry Phillips and a young quarterback in Lance Lejeune, who looks like a really good prospect. The Week 9 Cox 4 game of the week is Sandoval at Broadmoor. The Gators have one of their better teams in years, as quarterback Hayden Mallory and wide receiver Briggs Bourgeois are back on offense. The Bucks are a young team, and there's a lot of excitement about quarterback Zach Johnson and freshman running back Jordan Bailey. And the regular season wraps up on CST with a very interesting Class 3A matchup between Lutcher and De La Salle. Cavaliers are an emerging program after winning 9 games and reaching the postseason a year ago. Julian Gums is back at quarterback, and they have a speedy running back in Miles Ward. Lutcher is the defending champs in Class 3A, and they have a new coach in Dwayne Jenkins, but returning on offense are quarterback Jontre Kirkland and wide receiver Eldontre Davis. And the Cox 4 game of the week's final regular season matchup will likely have a district championship on the line as Dunham hosts Episcopal. Dunham won 7 games with a young roster last year, and they bring back quarterback Michael Williams and LSU commit Derek Stingley. The Knights won 9 games last year, and returning quarterback Cade Edenfield was at the helm for most of those victories. After the regular season, it's on to the playoffs, as we'll take you through the semifinals. So sit back and enjoy what should be a tremendous year of prep football on Cox 4 and CST.